I'm assuming you know nothing, alright? So we're going to design a fighting system. Okay? Now before we do that, we have to think, what is the problem? You can't get an answer to something if you don't have the question. But plenty of martial arts do this, you know. They have all the things they want to do in a fight before they figure out what they need. So they practice what they want, they have the answers, all they need then is a good question. Now I think that's backwards, personally, you know. The question comes before the answer. What is the question? What's the problem? So we have to examine a fight. Who's here who's ever had a fight? Have you had a fight? Anybody? Yeah? Who's seen one? A real one. Not in the gym, but a real one, in a bar, on the street, something like this, yeah? Now because of this, I shouldn't be able to bullshit you guys. I shouldn't be able to tell you that a fight is any different to what it really is. Unfortunately, a lot of martial arts do that, don't they? You know, you go there, know what a real fight looks like, but they persuade you, no, that's not a real fight. Real fights happen like this, you know, and then they tell you, and you think, that doesn't look like the fight I saw last night. And you're, okay, I trust you, you're the black belt, or you're the instructor. I say, no. Let's look at the real fight, okay? There's three things that make up a fight, or three negative things that the guys who offer a lot of training sell as being a positive thing. The first thing is, you've got to look at what you don't have. You've got to look at the problem, not just all the answers. So the problem is going to be that you never have enough time in a real fight. Fights are very quick, yeah? A lot of guys get beaten in a fight before they even knew they were inside one. You know, they're beaten already. It's too quick. So whatever we do, we have to take this into account. Okay? Whatever stuff we design to fight with, it has to operate within a very small time frame. The next thing we have to think about is, there's no real space in a fight. We have no room in it. So again, this leads us, how do we design a fighting system then, where you don't have a lot of time, you don't have a lot of space to operate in. Okay? Think about fighting is completely different to sparring. In sparring, you're always trying to get close to the guy, because he's always running away from you. In fighting, you're always trying to get away from the guy, because he's always coming after you. So that, straight away, is a diametric change. And the last thing about real fighting is you never have the effect you think you're going to have. When you hit someone, or when you grab someone, it's never easy. It's never as easy as it is in the gym, is it? You know? However hard you can punch that punch bag, you can never hit a man in the street that hard, because there's so much movement going on. And you don't have the time, you don't have the space. So before we even start, we have to be very realistic about what makes up a fight. And it's a lack of time, a lack of space, a lack of effect that makes it realistic. It's easy to make something that operates with time and space, give it a good effect. That's easy to do in training. But then you go outside and you train for the wrong thing, because a fight is always going to be hard. What we have to do is look at how hard a fight is and make our training match it. We can't look at, we can't think about how good our training is and make the fight match the training. You know, we have to raise our game, not lower theirs. Understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Now what I'm going to do today is, we'll have lots of little breaks, because I'm going to talk for a while. My voice will start to bore you after a while. You'll start to relax, you'll switch off, you go to sleep. You know, in fact, if anybody wants to go to sleep, be my guest. Just don't expect to wake up. So we'll have our little breaks. You can go away, literally go away, get a drink, come straight back. All right, just get the blood flowing around the body a little bit, and you keep listening to me. Okay? That's just the program today. So we're going to design a fighting system that has this reality in mind. These are the three truths of combat. You don't have enough time. You don't have enough space. You don't have enough effect. Okay? The time thing. Whatever we have has to happen within that time frame, suddenly. Okay? If we don't have time to set up, get ready, move around a little bit, prepare what we're going to do, it has to happen within a sudden time frame. Okay? If you can't do it quickly, it won't work in a fight. You don't have the time to set up and prepare yourself. That's just a definite. Okay? The space. No one stands, just stand for a moment please. In a fight, no one stands here. This isn't a fight. We're having an argument at the moment. The fight happens here, at this range. Why is it this range? Because I'm hitting here. You know, this is how close I need to be. At least this far away. Any further away than that, we're not in a fight now, we're sparring. That's something we're not going to look at today. We're going to look at everything as at this proximity here. Everything is going to be trying to get away from this guy to deliver something to him. We're never going to be worrying about how to get close to the guy. You often hear about some martial arts that talk about entry techniques. bridging the gap, things like this. My advice for this in a real fight, if you're too far away from the guy and you want to get closer, just blink like this. He'll sort it out for you. If you're right there with the guy like this, no one has to worry about getting close to a guy in a real fight. It's only in sparring you do this and they jump away and you think, ah, I missed him. In a real fight, don't worry about this. It's not a big deal. Okay? And the effect, well, let me tell you, you know, if you see a guy who can take 9 or 10 bullet wounds and keep functioning, then why do you think that one punch you have, that killer punch you have, or that killer kick you have, why is that going to work? So that effect thing, I always laugh with guys saying, you know what, I've never had anybody stand up after my punch, you know. And I think, well, my opinion is, maybe you used it once and you got lucky, or you're lying to me, you know. Because I've hit people as hard as I can, and they kind of laughed at me a little bit, you know. And we'll have to go from there. So that's a real fight. If you have that in mind, your training will take on a realistic aspect, okay? If you find yourself on the punch bag, stepping away just a little bit further to get a better punch, ask yourself, would I have that space in a real fight? You know? If you're taking your time to throw the next punch, ask yourself, would I really have that time in the fight? Yeah? You want to train for a fight? Bring these elements in, start making everything you do more realistic, okay? So that's going to be the anatomy of violence, you know, those three things, the things you don't have. We've got to look at the limitations and work from there, not our expectations. You always fall to your limitations, okay? In training, you want to rise to your expectations. In reality, you fall to your limitations. So it's good to know that. Any questions so far, guys?